Hello, good morning. Uh, in today's episode, we're going to talk about one topic that everybody, excuse me, why do West hate India? Right, so a lot of people have tried to dissect this, and they always go to most of them. I have seen uh, go to what Indians are doing wrong, right? Like hygiene, excuse my room, sorry, hygiene, public behavior, this, that, whatever, chaos that's there in India. But I have a very different take on this whole thing. I think West hate India is Western problem, not Indian problem. There's nothing Indian can do to resolve that. So let's get into it. Why do West hate India? Right. But before I give you the Western mindset, Western reasons for hating India, let me also let me first dissect what's wrong that Indians themselves did. Something bad that Indian did. One blame that I put on Indian, and this is the only one. So you see, India got independence in 1947, from British colonizers, and after that, the people who came into power were Nehru, and a bunch of people around him. And what most of them did was, instead of uh, creating, let's say, a labor-friendly economy, right? Instead of also focusing on non-skilled labor, all they did was they focused on English, they focused on IT, and they only focused on academia, not on uh, not on, let's say, manufacturing, right? So the low skill or no skill labor were all, not all, but most of them were exported to Middle East. Some of them, a lot of them were working in unorganized sectors, right? uh, the educated one were sort of became attached with the English ecosystem, the British ecosystem, and American ecosystem. And Indian academia, uh, brainwashed as F, and colonized as F, uh, started selling poverty porn and atrocity porn to Westerners. Right. So that's one thing that Indians did wrong to themselves. Now that this country is rising, right? And if you have seen anything, any sort of comedy or whatever about India from a Westerner point of view, one thing you will always see them doing is, and even the movie Slumdog Millionaire, one thing they always do is bring home the point that you are so lucky to be in West, and this is what you will also see in comment sections about slums in India. This is why the two slums in India. The first thing they will do is they will come when they come to India, they won't go to natural sites or beautiful sites or whatever, or architectural heritage. They will go to a fucking slum. Reason they do that is they are telling you, look how lucky you are to be living or to be born in West, right? So the moment this country start to rise, it it start to boils up a lot of insecurity in Westerners' mind, because that was one thing that was going on right for you. No matter what financial trouble you were in, no matter what kind of social relationship you had, what was going in your personal life, but at least we were better than Africans and Indians. Now, the moment we have started rising as a country, as a civilization again, that's one thing that's being taken away from them, right? So that's one thing. That's one reason that they sort of hate India, because it makes them insecure, and all the poverty porn and atrocity porn from uh, I don't want to use that word, but sepoy Indian house N-words, all the service that they did, it's slipping away with, it's being replaced with prosperity and infrastructures, and that's make them deeply insecure. Another reason, they find India especially disturbing, the Europe, the Americans, the Europeans, the Americans, because India did what they haven't, which is basically India kept its original OG culture from past. West has lost that OG culture, their pagan culture, and you can see a little bit of that, a little bit hint of that in coming Christmas, you know. But the original pagan culture was lost. It was sort of genocided. It was removed and replaced with an Abrahamic faith from Middle East, right? So Westerners don't have a civilization. They don't have a culture, and till this time they used to console themselves with lies like, oh, they were bad people. They used to sacrifice human and this and that anyway. So it was good that we sort of replaced that system with an Abrahamic faith from Middle East, replaced our local culture with something foreign, right? That is something India didn't do, and that makes them super insecure. Because if India rises, it contradicts their whole existence. For them, civilization means freedom of speech and democracy, but that's just a policy. That's just an operating system. Civilization is way deeper than that, right? So, civilization, a culture, a tradition unsettles them, unsettles what they have believed this far. You know, unsettled the very core of their being, right? So that also make them insecure about something. I mean, they can tolerate the fellow Abrahamics. Right? They barely did. I mean, they massacred Jews in Holocaust, right? But they can still tolerate, let's say, Muslims. The reason they can tolerate them is one. Uh, Muslims assure them that you are always going to be better than us, especially to the leftist liberal crowd of West. Reason they assure them of that because Muslim society is never going to be rich. It's never going to be tolerant toward LGBTQ, right? Anyone who's different than Western people, whether it's Jewish people, whether it's Asians, right? And they can be equally prosperous to them, face discrimination from the very liberal, tolerant crowd, right? And India is not just different, it's completely opposite. It's 180-degree opposite of what West is. India is OG, pagan, right? It has longer continuity, right? So of course that unsettles them. Of course that bring that hatred in them, and this unite their right and left. They both hate us for different reasons. For right wing, the priority is, or the for the right wing in West, the point of view, their value system is basically we're strong. We colonized the world. We did this. We did that. That's their value. The masculine, the strong. This thing. So we are best at colonizing. We did this to everyone. We beat up everyone. Blah blah blah. That's the right wing point of view. The left wing point of view, in the value has evolved from this basic chimpanzee like beating your chest, to that has now become we are the most compassionate one. We are the most we have most empathy and blah blah blah, right? We are most tolerant to LGBTQ, to minority, to this and that. Watch Get Out and you will understand how, in a movie Get Out, and you will understand some of this behavior from the left of that society. But they're both supremacist. The right wing is supremacist about how strong they are. The left wing is supremacist about how empathetic they are. And the best is like, I'm the most humblest person in the world. That kind of brag, but it's still a brag. So anyone getting to that, anyone getting closer to that, anyone being stable, any different culture growing, any different culture exerting its soft influence without being completely westernized, it's scary for Westerners. And that's where the hate is coming from. Brace yourself. There is more of that. As you grow, there will be more of that. About the hygiene thing, a very different take. I mean, it's only been 70, 75 years or 80 years since we have been independent. There's a lot of job to do. It's a big country. But more than that, uh, I'm more worried about something else. I was in Bengaluru, and if you know anything about Bengaluru, it's been, I think, 18 years I was there. If you know anything about Bengaluru, there is a joke about Bengaluru that from the airport to Bengaluru city is a different city. It's almost like two different city. It takes like 2 hours to 3 hours sometimes if you're unlucky, if you get stuck in jam to reach there. Uh, so I was this part of city, you know, near airport, and I used to go to central part. And the difference was the food stall that you have, the trees that you have, the market that you have were very localized. Yes. And in central part of Bangalore, everything was super sanitized. Everything was, the tree that you will see was something that was imported from somewhere else, and then that, it was, they would grow it in middle of pavement, right? Like it was all artificial, is what I'm saying. You're not connected to land. You will barely see land, actual land. You will barely see real ecosystem of Karnataka in this part. I mean, you will barely understand. You can understand anxiety of people of Bangalore because you won't feel like this is a part of Karnataka in central Bangalore, right? So the food stall you go to, it's super sanitized, and you won't see a, I think, kitchen. Where is kitchen, right? Bangalore has good weather, but in rest of India, if you go to third-tier city, second-tier city, you will see, if you go to a small joint, you will see the kitchen. You will sit around the kitchen, even if it's 40 degrees Celsius heat, right? You would feel that smoke coming from kitchen, right? That in tier one city is disappearing, and of course our children will be pussies. They won't sit in smoke and heat, that kind of setting in 40 degrees Celsius, in open, in front of open fire and eat street food. They will go to, even if you start to, like your street foods are all going to be McDonaldized. I know it's not a word, but that's how it's going to go, right? It's anyway going to disappear. All this, I mean, some of them are pure clickbait. The videos that are coming from India that get us so much hate, right? Some of them are pure rage bait or clickbait. I know that, right? But I'm saying that ecosystem is anyway going to disappear in, fortunately, unfortunately, in 20, 30 years, right? So if when I was in this side of Bangalore near airport, the market that I used to go, there would be different sellers, traders, sometimes farmers themselves, sitting there with their own product on land, right? On bare land. Like you could see the land, you could see the tree that belonged there, that was naturally there in that part, versus another part of Bangalore where you will only find super sanitized supermarkets, and the trees are bought from nurseries, the shrubs, the herbs. You will not see local thing. It doesn't even feel like Karnataka. It doesn't even feel like Bangalore, to be honest. Right. So I'm not worried about offending a Gola Pakora or whatever, black or Chinese or whatever. and what they see and how they feel and how they get diarrhea when they come here. I mean, that's a karma for these people. Didn't used to take bath, and they stroll through Amazon River, and they effing wipe out whole goddamn civilization, Amazonian civilization. I'm more worried about that. I'm more worried about our children being allergic to fucking peanuts. I'm more worried about that. I'm worried about everything becoming super sanitized, and even the bada pav and whatnot, mudhi kachri and whatever, jhal mudhi and ghugni and everything becoming McDonald's, and every restaurant is super sanitized, and everything being taken over by effing malls, and everything becoming super capitalist, super. I mean, I'm a capitalist, but still, this is the direction we are going in as a society. Our children will be pussy. They will have peanut allergy. Right? So don't worry about that. Worried about something else. Worried about, uh, you know, the guy who was shot with arrow in Andaman Nicobar, John Chow. Right? What was the assholest thing that he did? He was trying to contact a tribe which is unvaccinated. Right? So I'm worried about losing our fucking immune system and being wiped out by next effing corona. The way we are raising our kids now, with money coming in, I'm worried about depopulation, and I'm worried about viruses, and I'm worried about biological warfare, and I'm worried about dirty, unwashed European. That's what I'm worried about more than the whole, we are getting hit. Fine, we are rising, that's why we're getting hit. And we're not selling atrocity porn anymore or poverty porn anymore. That's when we are nationalists. That means we're scary. And because our culture, because our religion, because our way of life, it's wildly different from whatever the West have seen, or the things that they have deleted in their own society, in another society, in South America, in Africa, is what we have kept. And us rising means everything that they believe in being false. The whole bedrock will shake. The whole bedrock of Western civilization will shake. Every supremacist belief that they have, whether they're right or left, will be proven wrong if India do good for itself. And I do think we are in right path. Call me a nationalist, call me whatever the fuck you want. I don't think we should worry about why they hate us. They hate us because they hate us. That's all that I have to say. It doesn't fall on us. Our tourists are rude, or the people don't have civic sense, and everything will fall in place as we grow, as we grow our infrastructure, as we grow our money, as we rise, right? As I mean, people throw garbage everywhere because they haven't seen garbage can for like 30 years of their life, 50 years of their life, because the municipality didn't have that kind of money. Now I will tell you a story. I'm from Nepal. It's a small country. I was in India, Bihar, and this place that I was there was a known market for us. I mean, for us it was a town. For us it was a city. And I saw a heap of garbage pile, and I was talking to a shopkeeper there, and I said, "Where is the garbage truck? I mean, why is nobody removing it? Where is your municipality?" And he said, "This city, this town, that's such a big deal for us, is not considered a town or municipality. And that's probably considered a village or something. I mean, they don't have a municipality office, is what I'm saying. It's such a big country, and so many tier one cities, and so many, such a huge population, and so much money concentrated in Mumbai and Mangaluru and whatnot. I mean, the places you consider tier three cities are places that will. I mean, I have been to Bangalore. It's been 10 years, but will still blow my mind, right? You have so much money, you have so much wealth. So of course, it will take time. You know, uh, the estate the states, I mean, I'm known, I don't have right to say this, but I think a lot of states would be need to reorganize. A lot of these states are way big to deal with it, to handle with it. And once the infrastructure comes, once the laws are applied, right, the civic sense will also come. So there's a lot of self-hating, self-loathing people who do not understand that, who think they are white. They think we were the effing colonizer or something, that we went around the world and colonized British and took away all their spices and said, no, just eat beans on bread or some shit like that. Right? It wasn't us. It was the other way around, whether with Islamists or whether with Europeans. So I think we need to grow up and cut ourselves some slack, and all this propaganda that was done by Nehruvians, all this atrocity porn, all this poverty porn, let go of it. You know, I'm not saying there are no problems. I'm not saying there are things that need to be fixed. I'm just saying cut yourself some slack and fuck the West. Thank you. Uh, Now I will be taking question, any kind of question. Chat is enabled. You guys can talk. Hi, two people. Okay, zero people. That's just not my problem. Hello. Hi, you can talk to me. Okay, anyway, thank you. I'll be leaving now.